What is Earth? As we all know, the Earth has been around for a very long time. What exactly does its timeline look like? You might have an idea from your 7th grade science class, but let's briefly break it down. Earth is 4.54 billion years old. This is about a third the age of the entire universe, which is 13.7 billion years old. This seems quite hard to imagine, but let's see if we can start from the beginning. After what was theorized to be the Big Bang, hydrogen and helium were formed within 2 seconds. Following this, other elements began to form through nuclear synthesis. This created stars, which led to dead and dying stars as well. Remnants of some of these dead stars started to collect together to create a giant, dirty gas cloud. Other nearby particles collected and a dense center was formed. The Earth at this stage was a hot, molten ball of mass. Because of gravity, differentiation began to occur. It took about 2 to 10 million years, which created the layers of the Earth that we know today. The Earth is composed of different layers varying in composition and density. There's the inner core, the outer core, the mantle, the asthenosphere, and the lithosphere. 30 to 60 million years after the Earth was formed, a meteor about the size of Mars hit the Earth and smashed out massive debris into space. This debris began to collect together to get more and more dense. This helped to create the Moon. It is basically an extreme overrepresentation of our Earth's crust. After this, the first signs of plate structure began to show on Earth. Nearly 3.8 billion years ago, the oldest confirmed evidence of photosynthesis in organisms began to appear as oxygen started pumping into the ecosystem. Up to this point, there were no signs of life, and the Earth has only been a boiling hot rock with molten lava and very high tides in the oceans due to the closeness of the Moon. Nearly 2.5 billion years ago, the oceans were only oxygen and the greatest mass extinction ever occurred, the Great Oxygenation Event, which killed 99% of life on Earth. Cells started to evolve and the levels of CO2 started to drop, and the Earth was reaching levels of negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit. After some time, 635 million years ago to be exact, the Ice Age period came to an end and the oxygen levels came to a point where the ozone layer was able to be formed and more complex forms of life began to appear. Plants started to form and animals came about, but another 290 million years after, another mass extinction occurred and 83% of the planet became extinct. At this point, the first dinosaur, the Eoraptor, came to exist, and dinosaurs began to dominate the land. Another mass extinction occurred and wiped out another 75% of the Earth's population from a 10-kilometer wide asteroid hitting the Earth. This was nearly 66 million years ago. This will lead us where we are today. Well, humans actually came around about 7 million years ago, but on a timeline like this, that's nearly minuscule.